In his grand design, when God first created man, he created a duality of the sexes. The ennobling expression of that duality is found in marriage.
I think I was about 18 when I realized my views didn't align with the church's anymore.
Neither is the man without the woman, neither the woman without the man in the Lord. There is no other arrangement that meets the divine purposes of the Almighty.
I felt like even though I was trying to fit in and be the best Mormon I could be, I just didn't quite hit the mark.
Man and woman are his creations. Their duality is his design. Their complementary relationships and functions are fundamental to his purposes. One is incomplete without the other.
I was always Mormon. Both of my parents are Mormon, and so they raised us in the church, and I was baptized when I was 8 years old, which is the age you get baptized when you're Mormon. I think that I was actually a really good Mormon kid. I didn't do anything that I wasn't supposed to be doing as a Mormon. I didn't drink alcohol or smoke or have sex. But Mormonism was really my whole life. I think that there wasn't a day that went by that I didn't think about church, or that I wasn't thinking about God or religion. Or I think even though we only went to church on Sundays, I was just constantly thinking about church and doing things for the church. All my friends were Mormon, so I think that in a way it was just, I was very sheltered and confined to that Mormon bubble. We warn that individuals who violate covenants of chastity, who abuse spouse or offspring, or who fail to fulfill family responsibilities will one day stand accountable before God. Further, we warn that the disintegration of the family will bring upon individuals, communities, and nations the calamities foretold by ancient and modern prophets. We call upon responsible citizens and officers of government everywhere to promote those measures designed to maintain and strengthen the family as the fundamental unit of society. This is my quad Bible. It's basically a combination of the Holy Bible, the Book of Mormon, Doctrine and Covenants, and Pearl of Great Price. I felt from a pretty young age that I didn't belong there. I couldn't, at church or with my friends or family, I just couldn't fully express who I was. Even though I loved it there and I loved my friends and I loved just having the church in my life, I think I just felt also a lot of sadness. One of the biggest things that the Mormon Church pushes on their members is that, in order to be a family and be sealed to your family forever in the temple, you have to get married. A woman has to get married to a man. It was easier for me to, even at that point, just tell them it was because I didn't believe the church anymore, than tell them that I was bisexual. I was scared to lose my friends and lose my family if I ever told them. I was taught growing up as a Mormon that being gay is a choice, and if you're choosing to be gay, then that's a sin. Leaving the church was definitely the hardest thing I've ever done. I've had a huge identity crisis. I went through probably the worst depression of my life because I had to figure out what my values were and what I believed all over again. I think I just felt that because I was also attracted to men, that I could hide that part of myself and just go on and have like a happy Mormon life, and just no one would have to know that I was gay. I thought I would just be able to marry a man and have kids and live the gospel and go about my life without ever really telling anyone. So I went through some of my mom's old family albums to show you. I think that when I look back at family photos, there's a lot of foreshadowing of how my life would end up. I could see how happy I was as a kid, how funny I was, and just how outgoing I was. And then there was a point in my life where I think being in the church was so detrimental to my mental health, and I could clearly see that looking back at these photos. Photography has kind of been a form of therapy for me. I think it's fun, and it's a fun way for me to come and do photo shoots with my friends and make happy memories, and it almost washes away all of the negative stuff that I went through in my past. Yeah, I want her above ground. She's still in the present, obviously, and then you're below ground. I have Stephanie dressed in white because white is very symbolic in the Mormon religion. You wear all white when you go to the temple. When you die, you wear your temple, they dress you in your temple clothes in all white. When you get married, you're in all white. It symbolizes cleanliness. Look down. Down more. I think I'm still trying to figure out what I want to share with people. Just keep going. Through my photography. I think most of the work that I make is incredibly personal to me. Yeah, I think I just use photography as a way to reconcile with my younger self. Now that a lot of time has passed since I left the church, I'm at a point where I can kind of process all the emotions that I didn't really process back then. It was super exciting to be able to figure out who I was again and figure out who I was outside the church. And I got to just basically start over. Even just going back to the temple and being on the grounds of the temple, I just don't feel I don't feel all the anxiety and pressure to hide myself there, or just to not that I can't be who I am. Yeah, I think I'm at the point in my life where I feel at peace with who I am and happy with where I'm at. And so I can go back to those places and it just doesn't affect me anymore.